Hi guys, and welcome again to the next episode in our series Clouds, a Lesson, a Blessing, and an Opportunity. And in this, we're looking at mental health and maybe some tips and techniques to try to improve our mental health. And what we're looking at tonight is anxiety. We looked at depression and then mental health in general the previous week. But this week we're looking at anxiety, and I think that's one of the most common uh, mental health conditions. And it's a condition that we all have to some degree. But for those who are chronic sufferers of anxiety, it's a real detrimental thing going on in your life, and it can rule your life. This anxiety. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at how to perhaps overcome some of those small issues. And the thing with anxiety is that it's hello Angela, hi Daphne. The thing with anxiety is that it overtakes your life completely, and it more than likely has been a condition that you've suffered with or have had to deal with over many years. So that being the case, then it's so difficult to restructure different ways of thinking. And that's what it is. That's what anxiety is. Your thinking is in a loop. And it's usually negative thinking, negative thoughts. And these loops are being played out continuously. And it's a very fear-based thing. Now, we've said about depression being overly concerned about things that happened in the past. And anxiety, you're overly concerned with the fear of what might happen. And that's not strictly correct. It's more to do with a general malaise, a general negativity of mindset. And these thoughts, these loop thoughts, are played out continuously. And for anxiety, the loop thoughts are usually, well, what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? So how do we counteract that type of thing, that type of thinking? Obviously, breathing is incredibly important. And as it is with any mental health condition, keeping a slow, steady breathing state will bring your body down. It'll bring your heart rate down, and eventually the anxiety will dissipate. So we're going to be looking at some techniques for that. Specifically, we're going to be looking at what's called the vagus nerve, VAGAS. And the vagus nerve is a long nerve that comes from your brainstem, right down your body and into your gut. And it's very connected to this sense of anxiety. Because one of the things about anxiety is that it's linked in to your what's known as your fight or flight response. And obviously, when we were cavemen and running around with wild beasts chasing us, the fight or flight reaction was incredibly important, so that we could get away from things, or we could fight them, or run away. But in our modern world, there's not so much call for that as such. But this fight or flight response is reacted when we're anxious. And with the fight or flight response, we can either fight or run away. But in our modern world, we can't do any of those. So those feelings and those emotions are churning up within us. And our heart rate is elevated, our blood pressure is usually up, and a lot of bodily reactions from that. And these are very recognized reactions in medicine and in psychiatry. So when we're talking about the vagus nerve can fight that. The vagus nerve is linked into what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's the hormones and the brain chemistry that kicks in to calm us and bring us down to a state and override that fight or flight response. So, first of all, let's do a wee breathing exercise. And the breathing exercise is breathe in slowly to the count of 4. So breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that breath for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then release that breath to the count of 8. Very, very slowly. And when you're breathing in, fill your lungs to capacity. And when you're breathing out, push all the air out of your lungs. And breathing out for the count of 8, and following that, hold it for another 4. Try to keep your lungs from breathing in until that next count of 4. So, let's do that. So, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold again. 2, 3, 4. And if you keep that rhythm of breathing going, you'll be a lot calmer by the time that you decide to finish. I think that's hugely important. So that's one way. Breathing altogether helps with any mental health condition, and concentrating on the breathing, a form of meditation almost. So if we're conscious of the life force coming in, holding that life force, getting the most from the breath coming in, and then releasing that CO2, releasing that breath as we move on. So, again, anxiety is very much a negative looped state of mind, negative thoughts. And if we were to activate this vagus nerve that I spoke of, there's a few different ways of doing that. And if you are experiencing a particularly difficult bout of anxiety, if the thoughts are getting too much for you, if you're starting to descend into a panic attack, and a panic attack is something we're going to be looking at, panic attacks, in a later video. But for this now, we'll try out this meditation, or this activation of the vagus nerve. So, if you, for 30 seconds, hold this pose. Now put your shoulder on your right side, put your hand on your head, and lift your eyes upward. upward and to the left. And if you hold that pose for 30 seconds, that is activating the vagus nerve. And keep your eyes trained upward and to the left. And bring that head down as much as you can. Obviously, if it's difficult for you, if that's sore in any kind of way, don't do it, or do it lesser. Turn your head to a lesser degree. But for now, keep that pose for 30 seconds. And then stop and do it on the other side. And again, look up and to the right for 30 seconds. And that is actually activating this vagus nerve that runs down your central area of your body. And as that nerve comes down, a lot of nerves branch out from it. And one of the most accessible points for connecting with this offshoot of the vagus nerve is through the ears. And again, another technique for that, to activate that vagus nerve, is to gently pull out and down on your ear. And that's activating that branch that connects with the ear. And it is calming the body. And the same on the other side. And just hold that for 30 seconds. And also, massaging of the ear in any kind of way is impacting upon that offshoot of the vagus nerve. So if you put your finger in a little hollow just here, just above your ear hole, there's a little hollow in there, and just do circular motions in the ear, and that's activating that nerve. And do that for about 30 seconds. And go over to the other ear and try that another 30 seconds. And then, following that, move down to your ear hole as such. Don't put your finger in too far, obviously, but just small circular motions. And again, that's activating that nerve. And you'll find that there should be some change in your mood or your heart rate as a result of those exercises. And you should find those quite useful. And again, these are for people suffering from chronic bouts of anxiety. We all deal with anxiety, obviously, to a greater or lesser extent. Some of us can manage that very, very well. But for those who have the chronic symptoms, it can be very, very debilitating. And especially in this world we're living in now, where lockdown is a thing, separation is a thing, and supposedly we're going to be opened up again, and we're going back to interacting with people that perhaps many of us haven't throughout the last few months. And that's anxiety provoking, going into new situations, going back to work, actually, can be quite anxiety provoking. So those small exercises may help. Perhaps take yourself off in the morning and start these exercises, and see how you go with that. But obviously I'm a shamanic practitioner, and shamanic practitioner very much connects with spirit, and has the philosophy that there's spirit in everything. And a lot of shamanic practitioners work with the energy system of the body, and frequency and vibration of the body, and specifically the chakras. Now, the chakra that would be connected to the fight or flight response, that initial stress causing reaction, or a reaction that comes about from a stressful situation, is the solar plexus. That connects directly to the fight or flight response. The sacral chakra also, to a lesser extent, but we're going to, for this for this meditation, we're going to focus on the solar plexus chakra. So, we're going to do this meditation now. So plant your feet on the ground, close your eyes, and we'll begin. So concentrate on your solar plexus chakra. And remember, your chakras are wheels that spin, and they bring in positive energy from around us, and they send out energy from us into the world. So focus on that chakra. Feel that. Drop down your awareness or your consciousness down to the solar plexus. And visualize yourself sitting in a beautiful meadow. And bring in all your senses when you're visualizing this. What do you see around you? Look at everything in small detail. What does this meadow smell like? What do you hear? There's a river close by. You can hear the water gently flowing and gurgling. And you feel the heat of the sun on your forehead and face and shoulders. And there's a gentle breeze that blows. Feel your heart rate slowing down. Getting slower and slower. And as you sit on the grass, you feel the beautiful energy coming up from Mother Earth. That beautiful, nurturing, protective energy rising up through our body. Feel that gentle breeze cooling your forehead and your face and your body. And out of a clear blue sky, one cloud drifts across. And gently drop small raindrops on your head and shoulders. And you feel this gentle, soft rain, refreshing and cooling. Be conscious of every drop that hits. Calm and slow. And then gently that cloud moves away. The gentle breeze blows that single cloud across the beautiful blue sky. And again, you feel the heat of the sun. Drying up the rain. And as you sit in this calm place, put your hands on your solar plexus chakra. And the solar plexus is just at the bottom of your rib cage. And with your will alone, release the negative energy that is blocking your solar plexus. Release it on down the body. Step it down through the chakras. Releasing all that negative energy down to the sacral chakra. And in turn, releasing all that negative energy down to the root chakra and down your legs and into the ground, where it will be transmuted into positive energy. And let it all go. All that anxiety, all that worry, all those what-if questions. Release them now. In this time and in this place, they are not serving you. So let them go. And get your right hand and gently massage the solar plexus area, releasing all that pent-up energy, activating your parasympathetic nervous system. Releasing that down the central channel of your body, down your legs and into the ground. And you're feeling a lot lighter, a lot more relaxed. And you feel the heaviness of your body. And allow it to be heavy. Allow it to sink into the ground. Feel the weight on your hips, on your back, on your shoulders. Feel the tension in your neck. And let it all drift away as you sink gently into the ground. feeling perfectly at ease. Perfectly relaxed. And you feel again the beautiful warmth of the sun and smell the freshness of this beautiful meadow. And your body feels lighter, having released all that tension and negative energy. And now it's time to come back. So move your feet, move your hands, and ground yourself again in the body. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay guys, I hope that was useful to you. And those are tips and techniques that we can use at any time. We don't need to be sitting down to do that meditation. We take ourselves off, sit down, close our eyes, wherever we are, just for a moment, and visualize that sense of calm, that sense of peace, and that will bring us in a much more positive state of mind. And you'll find that a lot of the anxiety dissipates. In more chronic conditions, this is a body of work that you have to begin. But you will get there through techniques like this, the vagus nerve, activating the vagus nerve, and breathing techniques and that short meditation. That will bring you closer and closer and closer to calmness over time. So I hope this has been useful. And if you have any questions, any thoughts around this, post them in on here. And we'll be back with another video in relation to mental health. Clouds, a lesson, a blessing, and an opportunity. And we've called it that, obviously, because there's the understanding that negative mental health comes into our lives for a reason. And we must recognize it. Perhaps it's telling us that we should stop or change our way. Something like that. It's something to think about. So we'll be back next Sunday at 9 p.m. With another one. On Tuesday, on this coming Tuesday, we'll also be doing a shamanic journey. And I'll keep you updated on that. So stay tuned. Look out on my page and you'll see all the details there. And thanks for joining us tonight. And we'll see you again on Tuesday.